Stephanie Milky here, aka KetoMOM, or often called mom, sis, Steffi, daughter, wife, aunt, and friend. Just like many of you, I carry a lot of titles. My favorite title is mom. I should probably say wife, which takes a lot of my time. But let's be honest, if you want to do something and do it well, you will make the time for it. Commitment is hard because we find ourselves overcommitted, but when you practice prioritizing, you will find out what is actually important and what you can let go. With the KetoMOM podcast, you will learn together how to manage our time, commit to the most important things in life, and I will equip you with the tools you need to feel qualified each step of the way. My name is Stephanie Milky, and welcome to the KetoMOM Secrets podcast. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the KetoMOM page. My name is Stephanie. We're going through the book, and you might be going, where's your husband? Where is Steve? He's meeting with a friend. He's hanging out with one of his long-time friends. His name is Anthony. He's amazing. They've been friends since junior high. He stopped over this morning, and I just said, hey, babe, I'm going to go do the live, and you have a great conversation with your amazing friend. And so, and we talked a lot about this. So really, I would tell you this. Wrapping up this book, can you hear I'm from Minnesota? My O's can be strong. Hey, tell me where you're tuning in from, and we're not wrapping up the book yet, but a lot of it is going to be reminders and just more amplified of what you have been learning. So tell me where you're tuning in from. We're going to talk about the power, which we talked about yesterday, the power of reaping and sowing. And here's what I want you to know. Once you have an awareness of something, we tell our kids this all the time. Once you have an awareness, once you're told, once you go, oh my goodness, I didn't know, now you're responsible because you know, right? Doesn't mean you don't need reminders. But in general, what I love about, I'll tell you this, what I did this morning. So I have been stretching since the time, which was only a couple days ago. I've shared this on our live the other day. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Judy. Hi, Ann. Hi, Susan. So the other day I said, I have been telling myself I was going to stretch and work towards doing an unassisted pull-up for years. Every single, the beginning of the new year, I would set a goal, lots of goals. And one of them was I'm going to work on my stretching and I'm going to work on doing pull-ups. I actually have been failing at those two goals for years and years and years. And finally, it stuck with me once I read this book and realized, oh, I need to focus on who I'm going to become before I set that action or that new habit. So since I had this realization of, oh my goodness, I know why I need to stretch because it's going to affect who I will become later on down the road, I have been stretching. And so I was laying in bed this morning, excuse me, and I set my alarm clock anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes so that I can lay in bed a little. I love to lay in bed and hit the snooze a couple times. I really do. Like, I don't have to leave my home. I homeschool our 4 girls. I work from home. I love to just lay there. And part of it is I'm laying there, I'm praying, I'm thanking the Lord for a new day. But I laid there this morning and I said, God, I should really apply the who before the do when getting out of bed. It kind of drives my husband nuts that I lay there and he gets out of the bed and I love to take up the whole bed. It's just a thing. But I did listen because I said, oh my goodness, this is another example of me not getting out of bed right when my alarm clock goes off. And why would I want to do that? Or who am I becoming when I honor my alarm? I'm just saying it's so interesting when you fill your mind with different things, different goals, different things to have awareness around. It starts teaching you. Like your mind goes, well, Stephanie, if you hit your snooze, then you're not honoring your snooze button. Well, Stephanie, if you were to get up 10 or 15 minutes earlier, you'd have 10 or 15 minutes more of reading before a dog started barking or a kid got up. Anyways, I'm going to tell you that if you have been going around the same mountain, shooting towards the same goals, if you're brand new here, post new below. I'd love to get to know you. You can always go to ketomomsecrets.com for recipes, ketone information, other books that we've gone through. But I'm telling you, this book has been hands down one of my favorite books that we've gone through, because what it's doing is it's legitimately giving you a different understanding of why you are going to set new goals, why you're going to stick with them, why you're going to do the day in, the day out, small baby steps long term. Because if you do that, they're significant. It will work. You want to know what I have a hard time with? I have a hard time with seeing people shoot towards goals and then falling back to the old ways. I just wish I could do it for you. Specifically like things like meal prepping or, hey, welcome, Michelle. I love that you're new here. I really wish I could do it for you, but nobody can do it for you. You are where you are today because of choices. And some of the choices might have been made by people in your life or environment years ago, right? Or maybe one of you or some of you are saying, well, I am where I am today because of a parent or a spouse or abuse or a friend. We talk about that. We'll say, listen, there really comes a day where you draw a line in the sand and you have to go, I'm going to make different choices. I'm going to own my day. I'm going to be responsible. I'm going to be disciplined, and I'm going to do it because I want to be the best version of me. And if I want to be, like for me, I said, if I want to be the mom and the grandparent down the road that is strong, not using a walker, that I feel great, I can run at the park, I can push my kids on the swings, I can get down on the floor, I can get back off the floor, then I have to do the things today so that when I get to be that age, I can reap the harvest of the results of doing that. Does that make sense? All right, so here's what I will tell you. Basically, we talked about reaping and sowing, and he says, you reap more than you sow. What does that mean? And I went, oh my goodness, that totally makes sense. I read this today, and I was like, I love it, because you always hear you reap what you sow. You reap an angry word towards a friend, or I'm sorry, you reap what you sow. You sow an angry word, you're going to reap an angry word. You sow frustration, you're probably going to have somebody come back to you and be frustrated with you, right? You sow some really bad decisions in your food and lacking in your fitness routine, you're going to reap probably some pounds, right? So he says this, if you put a kernel of wheat into the ground, it will produce a stalk with 3 heads of wheat. A head can contain 15 to 35 kernels. So one kernel produces over 100 kernels. And I read that and I went, oh my goodness. What he talks about in this chapter, some of it's kind of over my head, but he takes like money, talks about compounding money. He's like, if I were to give you $5 million today or 1 penny compounded over 30 days, which one would you choose? He's like, well, clearly, he's like, if you asked a teenager, they'd be like, give me the $5 million today. But if you were to be wise for a second and realize the compound effect over a penny, even over 30 days, it's like 5,800,000, and it's like ridiculous. It's more money if you take the penny over time. Compounded, that's like your habits, that's like your goals, that's like the small steps you're doing every single day. Long term, over your life, they will compound. And so he basically gives you different areas of your life, whether it's in your finances with your money, of saving $2 a day into what it will be invested after when you're 65. Seems crazy, but seems super small steps. He talks about physically eating one of those little packs that says 100-calorie snack. He's like, if you eat 100-calorie snack every single day, or like once, are you going to feel the repercussions of that tomorrow? No. But if you're eating excess over the course of even just a 100-calorie snack over the course of a couple of years, are you going to feel it? Probably. He gave a whole bunch of illustrations. I'm not going to read it to you. But he says James Clear says this. He goes, time magnifies the margins between success and failure. It will multiply whatever you feed it. Good habits make time your ally. Bad habits make time your enemy. A small difference each day adds up to multiples over time. And so just like the one seed that goes into the ground, you sowed it, you reap 100 times just in the farming aspect. So think about the small actions every single day. You don't see it one day. Like it's sometimes people get so frustrated because it's been 2 weeks, it's been a month. And I have to remind you, you didn't get here overnight, you're not going to get there overnight, but just do the small, consistent actions every single day. And that is getting up with a I get to attitude, not a I have to attitude. It is drinking your water in the morning instead of your sugary juice, or your ketones instead of your garbage, right? It is choosing to intermittent fast instead of have the donut, or choosing to have eggs instead of the donut. It is choosing to go for the walk instead of sitting at the TV or scrolling on social media and all of a sudden lose your, like, it's not getting lost in other people's worlds and owning your day, right? It's little things like packing your lunch instead of going out to eat. It's instead of not planning your week. So it's planning your week so you have meals every day instead of going through the drive-thru because now you're running out of time. It's not skipping the gym. All of these little things you might not see the physical change, you won't right away, but it will multiply exponentially over time, 100%. And so I don't have to keep going into you reap what you sow, but you reap more than you sow because it's going to multiply. Money does, weight does. It all plays a huge factor in if you're going to reach your goals or not, good or bad. So we only have a couple chapters left of this book. We go into more of you reap after you sow. He talks about, I think this is great. I'm really enjoying the book. Really, I think for me, it was a huge awareness of the who before the do. If you don't have the book, grab it. If you don't read books, which people tell me, I say listen to the Audible, or you can tune in here. You can go to KetoMOM Secrets and listen to all the last books that we've done. And just know this, you can always send me a message and I would love to help you. I'm not a doctor per se, but I can give you some great advice. Here's the name of the book, Michelle, The Power to Change. A great Audible book to listen to on your drive time university. If you have to work or drive to work, stop listening to garbage and the news, shut it off and listen. We call it drive time university. Like we listen to podcasts and books and things that are going to fill us up, not waste my time. And so I forgot what I was saying in the past, but you guys, thank you for tuning in. Your presence matters. Thank you for answering questions. I will come back on if you've asked a question below and I will answer your questions. Otherwise, I hope you have an incredible morning. I'll come back on later, talk about some type of keto low carb tip, but you can always go to KetoMOM Secrets for recipes. How bad do you want it? If you want it bad enough, you're going to stick with the daily actions long term, day in and day out, even when you don't see the results overnight because there's no overnight success. I love social media, and yet there's part of it where I'm like, oh my goodness, it's great for connection. And then also causes so many people to go down the rat race or the hole of comparison is the thief of joy. So stop comparing yourself to other people online. I want you to come here to learn, to take what you've learned, to put it into action, and to grow, to reap your own harvest. So you put in the work, you will reap a harvest. You put in the work, you will reap a harvest. The fastest way to cut down your harvest, the fastest way to really ruin all of the hard work you've been putting towards those goals is to compare yourself to other people and to see things worse than they are. Don't see something worse than it is. If you have a bad day, if you ate the donut, if you skipped the gym, it doesn't have to wreck the rest of your day or the rest of your life, right? We all have slip-ups. We all have choices that weren't the best choices that we've made. It doesn't have to wreck the rest of it. So you get back up and you keep going. The only way you fail is if you quit. If you quit on yourself, get off that pity potty and get back up and keep going. I'm always here to help. I hope you guys have an incredible day. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, for those of you who did the reboot, congratulations. All of you rebooters are done. They did 60 hours of fasting. I have a whole bunch of people doing the intermittent fasting kit, just really starting their intermittent fasting journey. If that's something you're interested in, I'll come on later and talk more about that. Otherwise, have a great day. I do have a fun promo on my Mom Fuel. It's ketones that I drink every single day till the end of the month. If you want to know more about my Mom Fuel, it's for dads too. And the post promo in the comments and we can chat. Otherwise, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.